Live. Hello,
Right.
welcome, internet. All the
Hello,
peoples.
the internet.
I am Drasseray,
I'm Motzi.
and we are Dratzy Games. And
Oh, I
we
thought we
are.
were gonna say Wild Stallions.
Oh, I
We
don't know.
are
Wild Stallions. We are
Like,
making a video game called Alterium Shift. I'm sure you're aware if you have been here before. If you have not, maybe you're new.
you have a way with words.
I have such...
Alterium Shift on early access right now in
Uh-huh.
Steam. We do have a demo that is also the same version as the early access. The only difference between the two is that the demo stops after Act 1. So for those who are reticent to do a demo, if they're thinking of buying the game, just keep in mind the game is the same game. And when you save your game, it will work in the early access version.
Wee. I think I'm going to turn the music down just a hair because it is just barely too loud. There we go. I think that'll work.
All right. So we are going to talk about lots of things today. We are going to also show more of the early access version. Spoiler alert or spoiler warning, I guess.
Sure. Yeah.
We have a number of things we want to catch up on with everybody because it's been a bit. It's been a wild week and a few days since we launched. We've been patching the game multiple times, taking in lots of feedback, bugs, enhancement requests, some things that we had planned on, some things that we were not planning on, but we've learned from the launch that there's things that we need to change in the game. And I hope that people who are watching this now or have talked to us in Discord or otherwise understand that this takes a lot of work, and we're trying our best to get ahead of things. We do welcome the feedback. We can't do everything. We can't solve every problem. Some of the things were just not part of our design or scope, but we also recognize when we need to go back and tweak some things because, things just don't work out for people. They don't feel good, or story doesn't make sense, or something's a little awkward. And we're going to go back and fix those things.
Right. Absolutely. And fix the obvious things. Bugs.
Well, yeah, the bugs.
Like our
right?
list of bugs on Discord. Are you guys... Hold on, I'm going to share my screen now. Switching to live scene. If you guys have not joined our Discord, we have a beautiful place where everybody can come and hang out and dump all your grievances with the game. And we'll take a look at them. Seriously, we've been going through here. We have bugs, we have suggestions, we've got things in process, we've got things fixed. It's fun. And I went through and fixed a lot of the Dune stuff yesterday. Some of the stuff where you could pull up the map, or not pull up the map. You could when you're passing out in the dunes, you could call the bird, and it would not teleport you properly.
Yep.
Or in a battle, you could teleport the bird to you and bring the bird into battle with you. I fixed that problem. Anyways, yeah, those are fun things.
Have you heard, by the way?
The word?
About, yeah. Burp. Sorry,
How did I know you were going that direction?
we work together long enough now that you know my terrible joke.
I guess, yeah.
So yeah, Andreas has been fixing a lot of bugs. One of the major things that we'll probably show actually today is the CRT effect settings, which we did announce yesterday.
Yes.
We announced the other day on our Twitter feed. And, we had a goal when we set out. We started doing this whole project and launching early access to hit a certain number of copies sold by the first month. Our goal was set at 5,000 copies. And as a reward for the 5,000 copies, we had planned on doing the CRT effect. Now, so it happens that when we were in this process, we actually just finished it because we were really liking how it was looking. So rather than wait till we got to 5,000 copies, we are going to release it to everybody who has early access soon. In fact, it'll also go into the demo when it finally gets through our testing phases.
Yep.
So be on the lookout. At least I think after tonight, we will release to our beta version, which is people who have early access can go in to their beta settings, which will provide information on Discord on how to get access to that, and they can get the newest version as of tonight. It will include CRT effects that can be mildly changed. More features for that will come in the future should we decide that we want to add additional settings. Hopefully people will like that. We like the retro classic look and feel. Obviously it's a more modern game that has stuff that you really would never have seen back then, but the CRT effect at least harkens back to that feeling of a classic retro style JRPG.
Yep. And it looks neat. I think it looks neat. I have a CRT TV behind me over there, and I still haven't booted our game up on there. I really need to. I want to watch it. I want to see what it's like on an actual CRT. I wonder if there's people out there that have a CRT they could play the game on. Or they're already playing the game on. Take a picture, put it on Twitter.
Yeah, you should play it. You have a CRT monitor.
I know it. Well, that's weird.
Yeah.
It's like it's like I said that just a few seconds ago.
I know you should play it anyway.
Okay.
In addition to the CRT and the fixes that Dras is doing, I've also been working on fixes for the game. Some of the things that come up, autosave has been an issue for some. When we set out to make this game, we added a lot of save slots, probably more than you'd see in the game. We had 30 save slots for users to manually save their game. We did not anticipate that some users would not use any of them, and they would just rely on autosave. So what we learned from that is some people lost a lot of progress because they got to a certain point, and then autosave kicked in because they switched to a different file for that user or started over for the same character, and they lost their autosave. So one of the things that will be going out with our beta version tonight and eventually to the full version, at least the stopgap, is we're going to be storing backups of that. So if someone does lose their information, we can get it back for them.
Yeah.
And then we'll eventually have a UI that actually supports accessing the autosave history. So more coming there, along with some other enhancements to make the game make more sense in certain areas. In addition, I've also been fixing a lot of issues in what we call the buried temple, which is a temple that has water-based puzzles, and there's been some water-based bugs. So a lot of those are going to be fixed tonight. Of course, I'm sure people will find more, but a lot of stuff is coming out soon.
Yeah.
And to go along with this, I keep mentioning beta branch. So one of the things we wanted to do from the beginning of the launch was to make sure people had the ability to get access to even newer, fresher stuff before we were ready to put it into the main version of the game. Starting today, moving forward, we are going to be much more consistent with how we do these deployments. We will be putting things into a beta branch. We'll probably have a timeline of maybe 5 days or so, depending on how long it takes to test it fully to confirm. Once we've confirmed it, we'll push it into the main version of the game and we'll announce the fix for the main version. Of course, anyone with the early access, again, will be able to get access to that beta branch. We'll strive to update the demo and the main branch at the same time. So beta will always have the newest, greatest code, and then the main branches will be slightly behind, so we have time to catch any major issues before we push them out.
Yeah. Consistency matters.
Yes. Yeah. I see you moving around with notes here. Did you want to talk anything about this, or?
I don't know. I was waiting for you to get done. I thought I'd actually I'd play with the CRT effects first thing here.
Yeah, let's take a look at that.
It's already enabled on here, but yeah. You'll see a little vignette around the corners here. It's kind of.
I want to
kind of bowed.
Zoom it in or something, because it's going to be looking at a small.
That's true. Let's see here. I can switch it to a.
Did you create a build?
There we go. No, I didn't create a build.
Okay.
Not yet.
Hey,
lasers. I can make it bigger.
Yeah, make it bigger. I was thinking about this earlier, because when you scale the size in this little window, you're going to see what you'd see if you scale the CRT, which is you'll start seeing lines that smash together or whatnot.
Right. Right.
on your actual screen, it'll fit better with whatever resolution that you're using.
Yes, and you can also change the resolution of the game itself too within the screen settings. But let's just for an example's sake, I can turn it off. It goes back to normal. There's no lines, no scan lines or anything like that. You can turn the effect back on, and then you can adjust your level of scan lines. So if you don't want super thick scan lines, you can set it to 1, and we got a vignette that has a couple settings, which is kind of hard to tell on the title screen. And then screen curve is basically the outer edge curve, like on an old CRT, you got that bulbous shape. This kind of emulates that shape of the screen there. So I like it set to 1. I like the vignette on 1, and I like the scan lines to 2 or 3 personally. Those are my preferred settings. So if
that one tends to be the closest to the good effect.
The good effect.
I don't like curve at all though, so I turn it off.
Oh, okay. I like a small curve, just a small curve. Let me see if I can find a save. This is Gilberry Port. That works. This is where oh yeah, we did fix some problems with Gilberry Port too. We had some issues where you would teleport somewhere and it would lock your controls because of the way I did things. I think we fixed that maybe on the last stream. On Tuesday.
No, you and I fixed it on a phone call.
Oh, it was on a phone call. Okay.
It's hard to tell. It's hard to tell is it night, is it day?
All I see is Alterium Shift. It all blends together.
What is my name again?
Yeah. But yeah, you can kind of tell, oh yeah, I can't go into the menu to change it here. I was gonna say I can.
I thought you were gonna be playing on a built version of the game. So.
Yeah, my bad. I did not get that ready.
I can build it for you while we watch, because the save will transfer.
If you want, that's cool.
I will go get you a build.
Go get me a build.
Yes.
How long will the game be in early access? Did you answer that question? It's something we got on YouTube.
Oh,
Hi, Loki. Welcome, by the way. Sorry for the late hello here.
I'm not paying attention properly.
Hold on. The game audio's really loud, actually. And I also need to.
We'll answer your question in a second once he figures out how to turn his audio down. Did you do that?
Open volume mixer. I gotta turn down whatchamacallit. Here we go. Unity. All right. Yeah. So we're gonna be in early access until the game is done. I'm just kidding. Okay. So.
Well, I can answer this question.
Okay.
So our target launch date, which I would say would be kind of a miracle, but for different reasons than you might think, was the end of 2023.
Mm-hmm.
However, as we've been working with our publisher, and we want to get localization, we want to get multiple consoles. We already have Switch confirmed. We have other consoles, and then there's things like finding the ideal release cycle. It's looking like early access would likely bleed into 2024, but we're not totally sure yet. A lot of it's going to depend on the next couple months, and as far as like what it means to be in early access, during this entire time you'll be seeing updates to the game. Mm-hmm. So it's not just you bought the early access and that's what you get until it launches. It's more like you get frequent bug fixes, which we're doing almost every day, every other day, and you'll also get new content as part of the early access process. Our goal is to get roughly about 75% of the content, which takes you all the way through the end of Act 2 and somewhat into Act 3. Essentially, what we're sort of keeping to the side for the final launch is the final section of the game. Right? So that's our goal. And of course, one of the things that we're streaming what we're doing right now, and we try to keep people posted as we go. We are working on a properly defined roadmap that we can at least communicate what our current next goals are, which are subject to change. So, we will try to keep everyone updated as we go along and get closer to what we think is going to be a real launch date and, what's going to happen next.
Yep.
Localization is going to be a bit of work. Our game is a RPG, JRPG. It has a
Mhm.
lot of words, and not only does it have a lot of words from the baseline story, there's lots of choices. And to give a frame of reference, the demo, Act 1, has 25,000 words in it, which is a lot of words to localize. And if you consider that we have 3 acts in the game, you could sort of multiply that out roughly to think that we have a lot of words that have to be translated. Now, we may not launch with every single language, but we do want to at least get some key languages in there as we continue to work through all of that piece. So there's going to be some things around that aren't specific around the game being done, but are things we're going to be needing to do in order to fully launch.
Right. Hey, Gladiator son. How
Hey,
is it
Gladiator.
going? Welcome, 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 welcome. Good to have you here.
You sounded like you're from, was it Norway or Swedish? Good to have you here.
Good to have you here. Welcome to the stream.
We are talking about Alterium Shift. And I don't know where my voice went. I can't do that.
Yeah, that was
It
that
went
was-
it went a slightly different direction than I was intending.
right.
All right, let me get a build for you started.
Give me a build.
Hopefully it's not
Yeah,
gonna be-
hopefully we can properly show the CRT effect.
Yes. Well, it looks almost like you're playing it on a TV.
Oh, I'm having that issue where if you have a PlayStation controller hooked up to your yeah, we have a new bug. If you have like a PlayStation controller hooked up to your computer, the keyboard might act a little funny. But once you unplug it, it's fine. It's really weird. But the PlayStation controller works fine too.
I wonder if some weird conflict between how the input's being tracked or something.
Yeah, something like
Not
that.
really sure.
I need to put some messages on this well. There's no messages on this well. What am I thinking? Well.
Well. Do you want to put a spoiler alert?
Thanks, Loki. Spoiler alert. Do we have that again? Where's my spoiler? Oh, I think Ugly Facington replaced my spoiler alert. Yes,
Is Ugly Facington the spoiler?
I think so. I can change it back to spoiler alert. Like,
Ugly Facington alert.
yeah, because, Ugly Facington loves to spill the spoilers. This is early access. Sorry, I had to. Let's see here. We are playing early access stuff and working on early access stuff, so that's why we're having a spoiler alert here. If you do not want to be spoiled of new content or upcoming content, well, you have your warning. So, yeah, how is everybody tonight? No problem, Loki. Happy to answer your question. If you have any more, feel free to ask. We have lots of stuff we're working on, and we'd happy to share any information. We're pretty transparent, except for in-game spoilers or something. Right? We're not going to tell you that.
Wait.
Sorry.
You can see through us?
Transparent. Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
Yes. My alpha setting is set to 50%. All right.
I'm getting your build. It's taking a minute.
Well,
It'll
it
be-
probably takes about 10 or 15 minutes, huh?
Yeah. So Jurassic could be. Wait, you just quit?
Huh? Oh, I was gonna work on bugs while I waited on you. So
Oh, okay. We can do that. I mean, this is going to be something we put on Steam, so you might want to just keep playing the game.
oh, you want me to play the
Game
game?
be played.
Okay.
I mean, maybe people on Steam want to see how the game is made, but I don't know. Maybe we won't put it on Steam.
Well,
But speaking of theme and speaking of things like goals, so we did do a post about this, and I'm sure people listening know this. So if you're listening and you haven't heard this already, we do have some sales goals for the first month of our early access. I know it's kind of interesting to have sales goals when you release early access, but there's also things like, needing to show viability of the market, and that
Mhm.
we can, get some money back that will help us invest more into the product. So we do have sales goals that start at the 1K mark, which we've already hit and surpassed. So thank you everybody for supporting us. As I
Yeah.
said earlier, this lovely CRT effect is something we moved up in our goals, which we'll be releasing to beta soon. From there, of course, we have other goals. We go up to 5K and above. So keep in mind, we are trying to get people to get the game. It'll help us tremendously, be able to stay focused on this, keep Drast fully focused on the work full time. We want to get as much out as we can, and we're trying to push things as fast as we can, especially if people have issues and concerns. So if you haven't already told anybody about the game, please feel free to shout it to the rooftops. We would appreciate that. Send them the link, let them check it out, get a wish list. Don't even have to buy the game, honestly. Wish lists are great. That helps a lot too. Although if they want to purchase it, that would be fantastic. It helps us a great deal. And we want to show everybody that we're not just looking for people to buy the game and then we just move on with our life. We are extremely proactive in our Discord server. You can find our Discord server if you're watching from Steam by looking in the description of the game. If you're watching right now live, we put the link in the chat. Feel free to pop in there. We are very proactive in responding to people.
Yeah, I got a catfish, y'all.
All right. Did you just go catfishing?
I did. I went fishing. I didn't specifically go catfishing. Might be two different things. Maybe.
This is in Barren Valley right now. One thing I'd also like to talk about, which we haven't spent a lot of time on our previous theme streams talking about, is the art style. Because we do get asked about this sometimes. Like at first blush, sometimes it looks like it's 2D. Now I hope you can tell that it's not completely 2D, but we like that look because it fits in the styling of classic retro style JRPG. Now, what we do also like is that it's a 3D world, but we like the feeling of 2D. So there are games that use the 3D camera differently. So you can actually move the angle, or it's more clear that it's a 3D world. We like the tighter angle. This is something Drast really refined to get that look. And I hope everyone likes that look, because this, to us, when we look at it, it feels like what we remember of these games, but with a little bit more depth and a little more modern features than what we would have expected back then.
Yeah, it definitely, when we were first showing the game off, and we would do like a camera turn, people would be like, whoa, the camera turned. They weren't expecting it, because they're like, oh yeah, initially looks 2D. I think some of the 3D pops out a bit more now that we're in Unity. Obviously, Unity has the shader effects and whatnot that kind of help the 3D stand out just a little bit more, but I feel like that adds a little more value to the depth as well of the game. The enhanced colors, the bloom, the 3D shaders, all that good stuff. Best part of the game is fishing. It is one of the best part of the games. I'll take that, because I am the one that made the fishing game. So, sorry, Mati, I win.
He's not shy.
I win.
About that. I don't like fishing.
I love fishing.
I mean, I don't. I was like, it's fine that other people do. I don't think I've played a game where I was really engrossed in the fishing experience, other than doing it out of necessity.
Right.
Something special. Let me see. I think I had something else on my list I wanted to cover. Oh, there is something we want to cover.
What's that?
Well, we talked about sales goals.
Mm-hmm.
There's another thing that we've been wanting to do for a minute. And we've talked a little bit about this. We've debated even after having a publisher, because publishers, it's not like you get all the money in the world to develop a game. There's limited budgets, there's time, there's things that affect that time. For instance, Drast and I have gone to a number of events in the last year, so that takes time away from development, but kind of a balance of what's necessary and getting out there in front of people.
Mm-hmm.
So one of the things that we've toyed with are, do we want to do a Kickstarter? Do we want to do some other things? Now, again, we appreciate the support people get by just showing up. If you play the demo and give us feedback, we appreciate that. If you write something to us and tell us what you think, we appreciate that. We don't expect more. Sometimes people want to support more, and we would take all the support we can get because this is a very heavy undertaking for a 2-person team.
Yeah.
We have a little bit of support from contracting. We have a wonderful composer. We have a publisher helping us in a couple of areas, but it's just there's a lot of time and money that we spent. And if you want to know how much time we're spending on this game, just keep in mind it's Saturday. I work a full-time job. Drass's full-time job is this. It's a Saturday and we worked all day on the game. So, we don't stop. In fact, sometimes we need to stop because we have families to pay attention to. We try to balance that life. And so we're not just kind of like trying to grub money from people. However, with that said, we appreciate support. We love it. Buy the game. Have other people buy the game. Or we will be announcing tomorrow officially a Patreon that we will be putting out in case anyone else wants to give us a little bit more support and get something as a reward for it. I don't think we're not going to spend the whole time going over all the details on there.
No.
I can tell you just on the high level some of the things that you're going to see in there in terms of tiers, because we want to make sure there's options for people. We have everywhere from, hey, you just get a Discord rule, thanks for the low amount of monthly support, but that always helps because it helps sustain, versus like the top tier, which involves things like getting your own NPC in the game, and getting your own side quests, and even getting your own pet. So we're going to put that out tomorrow. We'll get people's feedback. We'll find out whether they like it or not. If there are concerns about what they get, we can talk about it. We're open. We're not just, again, we take all the kind of feedback. If something doesn't make sense or someone feels like, I don't want to support this because it's not what I want, tell us what it is. Again, we can't do everything, but we will try our darndest to do as much as we possibly can.
Yeah.
So we'll put that out tomorrow. We'll get people's feedback. The only person who's not allowed to sign up for a Patreon is Killboy Gaming. He's done his lion's share of support. So Killboy, I'm sorry, you are barred and banned from Patreon. But thank you for all the support you've given us. You already are getting an NPC in the game, so you have nothing. There's nothing for you to achieve. But otherwise, everyone else is perfectly willing and encouraged to support it as if you want to. So we'll put that out tomorrow. It's as a sort of a full disclosure sort of thing. We do need to be able to make sure that we're getting some sort of income from the game. We're trying to sell it. It is necessary. It doesn't mean we won't stop working on it. I work full-time job and I work on this. But it does mean we're running out of runway long-term, and we were hoping that early access would help us bolster that up. But we need to hit our goal in order to really justify keeping Drass full-time on the project.
Right.
I don't know if this is good to share or not, but we're kind of transparent, so we like to tell people the reality of things. Those people who think you release a game and you make tons of money and everything's great, obviously haven't released a game. Or if you did, you got really lucky and you have survivor bias, because it's a lot, right? It's a lot of work. Getting in front of people, making a game people want to buy, attracting their attention, launching the game, maintaining their attention, dealing with negative reviews because not everybody doesn't like your game. A lot of stuff. So we're trying our best, and we love your support, and all you wonderful people who come in Discord and give us feedback. Thank you. We'll have more stuff down the road, but hey,
welcome for the
my
follow.
spiel. What's that?
Someone followed. I don't know what the name was. ECOMPT, something like that.
On
I think that was on Twitter. Also,
Twitter.
Chikichi, you haven't missed a whole lot. I'm just playing the game.
I've been just talking.
Motzi's just been talking, ignoring chat. That's fine. Hey,
Like the number one rule I try not to break is ignoring chat.
Right. Thanks, Chikichi, for the hearts. We appreciate that a bunch. Something's up with this. I need to fix that.
It's a heart hello.
A heart hello.
I'm
that's
zipping
funny.
the file, by the way.
Oh, cool.
Drass is going to play on the actual game. We neglected to get a build prior to tonight.
Mhm.
So I'm build right now. So
Well, we've been working on the game all afternoon, having meetings all afternoon. I mean,
that's true. We had a big, long meeting. And you guys wonder, so I'm building one version of the game right now. Taken 15 minutes to do that. And if you think about what it takes, not just to develop a game, but to build it, we have to build one version each for each platform and one version each for the demo. So there's 6 builds to do, and then uploading each one of those to Steam right now. We haven't automated it. That in itself takes a couple hours of work. And that doesn't even work. That's just push to build, wait for it to build, then we deploy it. So game development life.
I'd be down for a book of puns. Puns. Yeah, Motzi, you have to sell a book of puns when we get 10,000 sales.
10K point of sales. Ugh. I'm not good at them. Have you guys not read the jokes that I wrote?
I don't
Those
know.
were
Some people
all
like them.
handwritten. They're terrible. How does getting married change a person? Because they get altered?
At the altar?
Well, because what originally the joke was, it happens at the altar, but then no one got it. So I had to say altered at the altar. And then it made the joke even worse.
See, Cheeky Chi likes them.
Yes. Well, we could consider that as some of the digital rewards. The great thing about things like Patreon is that the rewards can be malleable. We can change them over time.
It's true.
So it doesn't mean like the one, if you subscribe at whatever level, that's all you get. Like we can have other things we can.
True.
I'm
The
just zipping
fence
right now.
one at the graveyard made you snort. Oh, no offense. Yeah.
He didn't take offense of anything or something, right? Was that what it
Yeah,
was?
I fixed their their date too, because apparently I had set their life to like 2 years or something like that. Of course they didn't take offense to anything because they didn't have time to.
Like a kid. Yeah, that's awful, actually.
Yeah.
The funny part about it was when he first did the dates, he didn't know what date.
I didn't remember what the actual dates were. Yeah.
And so he had dates for like way in the future. It's like,
Yeah, 100 years in the future or something.
I was like, Grass, do you not know the lore of the game?
Oh yeah, I know it. I know it backwards and forwards, obviously.
Yeah, I mean, I made the timeline. I showed it to you. Put it in Confluence.
Yeah. You have too much faith in me.
But you gotta have faith.
Wow, that was
let's see.
insta kill.
I am almost done uploading.
It's a world full of shift, so who knows? Yeah.
Oh no. That's
All
shifty.
that shift.
Did you go to the bridge?
Which bridge?
The bridge.
There's 2 bridges.
I know. Which one do you think I'm saying? Because they've probably seen the other one.
Oh, so you mean the other bridge?
The one that you probably haven't seen by now.
This one over here?
Yes.
Halt! The bridge to the Royal Road is closed due to ongoing repairs. If you have business beyond the bridge, you can check if the boats are running in Gilberry Port.
Hmm? It's not a JRPG if it doesn't have a broken bridge.
Yep.
Can you actually look more at it?
Yeah. Yeah, you just can't, can't cross it. It's broken.
This is the abridged version of our game.
You're so funny. Oh, hey, look, a treasure chest. Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert. Treasure alert.
Treasure
Draft,
alert.
I'm going to message you the file and hope I sent you the right one.
Oh, my. Well, let me get that over onto my other screen real quick.
Yes.
Let me download that real quick. Oh, hold on. Oh, no. All right. Don't
dox yourself. Wait, everyone knows your name. Sometimes you gotta go. Some chests are so obvious and some are so well hidden. Well,
After I'm done downloading this, just delete it, if you will.
oh, so it saves space on the thing or what?
No, for other reasons, because it started up on my other screen.
I'm so confused at what you're saying.
The link was exposed. Oh, I guess that doesn't really matter because they want
The
to
link
have
is
access.
protected.
Yeah.
Protected.
It's fine. It's fine. I'm thinking too much about it.
You know, did I check whether I was building the right version?
I
It's
don't know.
fine.
Where are you?
YOLO.
All
Let me just
right.
make sure all the switches are switched properly.
Hello. Oh, Thebax. Welcome back.
Backs. Hello. Skills are
Skills.
very beautiful. Alterium Shift.
Oh, thank you so much. We're still working on them. Glad you think they're beautiful. And it's not that I don't think they're beautiful. It's that I know. Okay, you zipped this up, and it included a zip of the.
Oh, that's why it was so big. Okay.
Wait, so did
Uh,
you? Which one is it then? Oh no.
I
Oh, I
zipped
know which. Okay.
zip of the zip.
Yeah, yeah. No, I got it.
No,
Right.
no. It should just be the one that has not the number 2. Wait.
No.
It's just the one with the exe. Just the exe. Ignore the zip. That
Okay.
was.
So I can delete the zip.
You can delete this.
Wow.
This is when you look. Friends don't let friends zip files while streaming. Okay?
Oh. No. Wow. You know what I was about to do?
You're about to delete all the files.
No, I was about to zip the zip again.
Don't do that.
I meant to hit extract and I hit compress.
Why is it 2 gigabytes?
Why'd you make it so big, Motzi?
Don't zip your zips, okay? Not
Is
good.
there D-pad issues in the early phases of the Switch copy as well?
No.
Check
Works
your
fine.
zipper. Oh,
When you
It's
do
good.
a Switch build without giving anything specific because they have NDAs and stuff, it's different. It's like it uses different compiling process. So it's built for the Switch. It's not built for like Linux or anything.
well, that's weird. Did it not finish unzipping? Something's going on here. Oh, it's still unzipping. Okay. It's just taking its sweet time extracting.
Because I zipped the zip. Which apparently does not save on compression.
So I guess I can stop running the game here.
Yes.
Alterium
You
Shift.
can go to Talking Heads and we can talk a little bit about let's talk about some things.
Let's chat about some stuff.
Yes, we mentioned earlier we have a bunch of things coming tonight. We're going to do some fixes. Let me also mention something else. One thing we've decided to do, when we started the launch, we made the beta branch completely open. But we decided that we're going to start putting a password behind it, not to prevent people from getting access. We're actually going to make the password available on Discord, so anyone who comes to Discord can get the password to get access to the beta, but more as a way to essentially, if anyone's kind of stuck on the beta right now because they didn't decide to switch over to the full version, kind of bump them off so we can reset that.
Yeah.
We want beta to be opt-in, and we want it to be something that someone has to intentionally go to and get, so that they don't say, why are all these bugs existing? I was like, look, you put the password in to use beta.
Right.
You are opting in to use maybe a less stable version. Theoretically, it won't be less stable, but practical terms, there's bugs. So keep that in mind when we eventually get this next version out. We will be putting a password behind it. Everyone who's currently on Discord, will post it, plain for everybody to see. It's not going to be hidden. For those people who decide they want to get involved in the Patreon that we just mentioned, which I don't have a link for because we're announcing it officially on Twitter tomorrow. There will be a tier that you can get access to even earlier.
Sorry. Hold on. The game launched at like ridiculously loud.
We should fix that, Dras.
Yeah.
I feel like that's a common problem. I thought I fixed that actually.
It launched really loud. My bad.
Why is that? I swear I fixed that, but I'll put a ticket in to.
Yeah, I'll share the game though. Hold on. Let me go back to not chatting.
Not chatting. Not chatting. CHAD. Chatting.
Yep. We'll turn off my.
Oh, here's another thing. While you do your thing, and I'll do some talking again.
Okay.
If y'all have not already, if you played the early access, if you bought it, or even if you got a key for free, and you have not gone and put a review in Steam, please do so. It really helps a lot. And in fact, some lovely humans went in and did do some reviews, which brought our rating back up to mostly positive.
Yay.
People who give the thumbs down, I'm not saying don't do it. If you really feel that way, fine. If that's where your heart is at, we ask for some level of concession because it does have a big impact on us right now. And as you can tell, we're working our bums off to try and do the best that we can with this game. So
Yep.
if you didn't like it, first talk to us. We're happy to talk to you about your issues and help you solve them. If you must, you must. But otherwise, the more thumbs up we get, the better, because it shows up more in Steam through the algorithm. Making more sales is good. Means we can put more into the game.
Yep.
Again, Saturday night at 9:40 for both of us, and we are streaming about our game and working on our game and bug fixing. So you can tell that we're somewhat dedicated to this project, more than somewhat, fully dedicated.
Just somewhat.
So well, a little bit, just a drop. Well, we don't work in our sleep, although we do dream about working on the game. So does that?
Oh, maximized window. I need to switch it to windowed. There we go. No wonder it was acting kind of funky because I wasn't on windowed mode. Okay, there we go.
Settings.
That's better. Yes. Oh, that's funny. The CRT effect is not working on the build.
What?
So we have some things to work out there.
What?
Yeah, sorry. It's not working. None of it's working.
Did you try turning it off and on again?
I can try.
I didn't mean to make that a joke. Why would it not be working in the build?
Well, let's try it again. See what happens.
Like quit and reopen it and see if it works?
Well, I'm wondering if... Let's see here. I quit. Now let's go to setting. Well, okay. I went to the...
Real-time issues, folks.
Yep. So something's up with it not wanting to work on the build.
All right. Well...
I don't know what that issue would be. Unless... Let me leave it off. Exit the game. And then turn it back on? Question mark. Let's see if that...
No, it should just work. I don't know. If it's not working, then there's some bug I gotta fix.
Mr. Bugman!
I thought it would be simple. You just deploy it.
You just deploy it, and it works, right? I wonder if it's me going to the save menu. Oh, yeah. See, it's still on when I get into the game. It's weird. I don't know. I don't know.
It's fine. You know what? I'll figure it out.
You'll figure it out. I'm glad I work for...
Oh, I know why it's not working. I know why it's not working.
You do?
Yeah, but you're not going to solve it right now, so just play the game.
Oh, just play it?
Build.
Oh, okay. Play it without the CRT effect, I guess.
I tried to be clever, and I tried to make something that worked in the editor, but would be different in the player, and I'm certain that I did something in there that broke it. Certain, because I didn't test it as a build. So I'll go confirm that I broke it, but I'm
it's okay.
Positive it was me.
It's quite all right. It's quite all right.
I'm glad I worked for a review that has to go play out the whole game and actually have enough.
Oh, I'm gonna have to play it in the editor because it's
Why?
the fade effects aren't working.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Okay. Well, my whole plan doesn't work at all. It's always you. I know. Grass makes it look pretty, and I break stuff. That's my job.
I'm sorry. I could always just focus the game.
No,
window.
it's totally me. It's just focus the game window. Just make it something. Can you just make it bigger? You can actually pop out the player and make it window size.
No, I don't want to do that because that'll be a pain.
What?
This is fine right here. I'm already almost there. Ta-da!
Whatever, Dress.
I win.
Whatever.
Look at that beautiful CRT effect. So pretty.
You're pretty.
Nice work. All right. Let's go back to what I was doing. I have no idea what I was doing. I was just playing as Pyra, just running around.
Exploring. You showed the bridge.
The Northern Plains, yeah. Which is a pretty bridge.
First person mode, no, shorty. That's just, when the screen goes black right now, people wonder, like, why does it go black? Why isn't it perfect? Why does it have any delay in loading maps? Like, look, guys, I get it. Peoples. But it's because the way the engine itself, the engine that we're using, handles loading maps. The way that maps get loaded requires that screen to cover up a few things that happen in between that.
Right.
To optimize that, it's going to be a bit of work because I'd have to get into the specifics of how the engine works and find ways to maybe preload a bunch of maps so that we have a very little delay between. That's a non-trivial amount of work. So, I'll do what I can, but not quite there yet.
His screen or engine looked like it had first-person mode. Oh, yeah, that was because when it was loading, it doesn't have the camera loaded in the right position, so it just like loads at the bottom of the map as you're looking out.
Exactamundo.
Ooh. Let's Fury Strikes.
Fury Strikes. Go.
Ice Spikes! Oh, that does no damage. Water versus water. Probably a bad idea. What was I thinking?
VR. How would that work? What?
This in VR? Well, you know what I could imagine our game in VR is
Like
like, you know how the CRT, yeah, like just have it, you're like sitting in a room with a CRT TV or something and you're playing it on that. That'd be sick. That would be sick.
All right, you can head up that division of the project.
Okay, cool. I'll get it done.
Get her done.
I'll get it done. No promises. 4. Man, Atlas, you're weak. I think it's because this was before I had the thing where Atlas would be your level.
I wonder if the shader has to be included in the
Oh, I bet it does.
build.
I wonder. Yeah, it probably does. You have to probably add it to the shader list.
That's probably what's actually happening. So it's failing when it tries to do that.
Oh, there's some
Huge,
bandits
ugly
over here.
Facington VR. Get it? What? Why?
Oh my
why-
God! Hug Ugly Facington in VR. Yes,
I
Ugly
thought
Facington.
it's huge, which would be funny too.
You would just
a
be like
giant.
this big in front of your face, just saying, "Love me, love me. I'm Ugly Facington." Okay, sorry. I'm gonna put him back now.
I get the
I have to
feeling-
do that at least once per stream. Just move Ugly Facington.
Only once. You should make a command that.
Yeah, I gotta, that's time spent away from working on the game.
Yes, and you never spend time away. You never get off on some weird tangent and say, "Hey, Matzi, look what I made." It's like, Dras, is that part of our priorities right now?
Shush.
Well, no, but look what I made.
Look what I did.
Well, you did something like that the other day. I can't remember what it was.
I don't know.
Some graphical thing, and you're like, "Check this out." And I was like, Dras, we don't need to be working on that right now.
Hey, look, I have ADD. I can't help it sometimes. I try. I try not to, and then sometimes my brain just takes control of my body.
Dras, you don't have to try so hard.
You don't have to try. So I don't know what song that is.
Where did we do the shaders?
There's a reason those chickens escaped and fled for their nugget lives. Yeah, absolutely. Chicken Lady is low-key kind of a psycho.
Well,
Just kidding.
Ugly Facington is actually the mastermind around the whole thing.
The mastermind.
Yes.
Oh, wow. She's
Ugly
fully
Facington
bonkers.
And Ugly Facington has a plan.
And the plan is world domination.
How'd you know?
It's obvious. Look at him.
Shader graph?
He's
Yeah.
planning something. Look behind those innocent, googly eyes. And there is a mastermind plotting something, some thick
Yep.
plans. That's for sure.
I did not add the shader to the X.
So that's probably it, eh?
I'm guessing.
I bet it's it. It's like not getting included, so it doesn't work. Bye-bye, birdies. No, come back. Okay, fine. I'm going to pet this cat.
We actually have 2 shaders associated with this.
Huh.
Changing the render pipeline asset may take a significant amount of time. I got time. We're just streaming. Am I supposed to work? Am I supposed to be fixing bugs? No one cares about bugs, right? The game's perfect.
Perfect. Yes, absolutely
Perfect
perfect.
in every way.
You know, it's funny because I don't know what I was expecting when this was launching, but like whenever we started getting those bug reports, at first it was a little overwhelming, but then now it's more like we have a bunch of really good people in our Discord, and you guys rock, and we have a way of organizing the bugs that works for us, and so honestly, it's not so bad now. Because A, you guys rock, and B, it's organized. So, happy days.
For me, at first, I was afraid.
Were you petrified?
I was petrified.
Oh.
I kept thinking I could never live without bugs by my side.
I could totally live
Then you
without
spent
bugs.
so many nights submitting all those bug reports. I used to cry, but now I hold my head up high, and you see fixes, and some of them are new. But then you find more bugs because you don't like to...
Spoiler alert. Here's all the items.
Hey, Mati, I think I found another typo. I want to make a the fairy. I want to make the fairy be a type O fairy.
Type O.
Oh yeah, what kind of fairy is it? Oh, it's type O fairy, and then you spell it with the word fairy.
It's
The
type
O.
Type O.
Yes. So when I was growing up, I suppose if we're thinking about this being on Steam, maybe this isn't a very useful conversation. But when I was growing up, I used to read an author named Piers Anthony, and he puts puns everywhere in his books. So maybe that's the reason.
I have a secret to show people that I bet no one has found yet. I got to show you something, just real quick. Watch this. Watch this.
Your mouse is over the screen.
It's okay. You can move that box. There's no reason why you can move that box. You can just move it. I don't have a purpose for it yet, but I did put that in there, and I never took it out.
Okay, so let's talk about here's a legitimate development-related thing to talk about with the game. You will see mechanics in the game right now in early access that literally only work in a couple places. You can only push that box right now. There's no other secrets. Don't start pushing every box you run into.
Yeah, exactly. This was just for fun.
But we do want to do more of that. One of the things that we have to figure out within the engine is how to make that kind of stuff reusable. Because unlike if you do things in Unity, you just have a prefab and it has the same behavior and just plop it and it'll do what you want. This engine injects a bunch of stuff into a map when it loads. Yet another reason why the map is slow. So one of the things that I've been doing over time, and the best place to see where I did this was the water temple, which we actually had help with this. I didn't do it all myself. Was we set it up so we could add sort of enhancements to maps. And the more we're able to do that, the more sorts of things we can add. So you can pick flowers in Summiton. My vision was you could pick flowers everywhere. I just imagine that if every flower cost 1 gold, people just gonna be everywhere just picking flowers wherever they go, right? Which is fine with me. I told Draz, he's like, well, what if people farm that? I said, what if they do?
Right.
They want to spend their time playing this game, picking flowers wherever they go, then they can go pick flowers wherever they go. So pushing and pulling is going to be a thing. We have to figure out a good way so it's more clear when it's meaningful. Or maybe not. I don't know. There's some mixed thinking on this, right? If everything you could interact with had some little marker, then you're not really playing the game. You're going around and finding things we put for you, right? So we don't want to make everything like blatantly obvious.
Right.
But we're gonna try and balance it, I guess. Of course, with Sage, eventually you will be able to see most of the things you can find or interact with. Sage's ability will get upgraded over time. So you start with one like primary thing where Sage can see things that are um, super important, and then that ability will get upgraded to where more things can become, found. I imagine a day where you're running around with Sage and it's just like a bunch of little spider webs shooting out different colors. Maybe it'll get annoying. I don't know. But for the people who like to find secrets, Sage is going to be the one.
In my opinion, we need to talk about the locked door and what happens when you keep trying. At the very beginning of the game, sideways across.
That's Dolian's office.
That's Dolian's office. And there is one way to get in there with one of the characters.
Yep. There is indeed. There's one way to get inside Dolian's office.
And it's at a certain point, a very specific point in the game.
Yep.
That's all we can say.
Spoiler alerts. Spoiler alert. I'm sure some people already discovered.
Yeah, they already know. Some people
like,
already know.
It's not like secretly hidden or something.
Oh, I know, but why after that when it's permanently locked? Well, after Sage leaves for their mission, and they're already down in the well, that's when Dolian leaves the office and locks it. So,
is it? I thought I was actually supposed to leave it open. I think that's
it is. Yeah, that might be a bug, but it is locked at that point.
Office doesn't stay locked after. It's not supposed to stay locked after you talk to Dolian. From that point on, Dolian is in his office, and then no other time are you able to go back to town.
What is this?
When
Sign
Dolian
up
joins
for a
your
chance to win a free key of early. What is that? Why is that? Streamlabs has like some kind of auto message for a free key.
I gotta remove that.
Please don't fill out that form. Unfortunately, that's a lingering form from a giveaway we did previously. Sorry.
Sorry, you're starting to sound like my daughter. Sorry. She said. My eldest daughter. I'll go get
Potatoes.
I think the problem is too many people are talking.
Yeah, could be it.
Like,
why can't I subscribe? Oh, because we are not an affiliate.
I don't know if we will do affiliate. Affiliates.
Affiliate.
The money you spend on a subscription, only about half of that goes to the.
Yeah. I think we decided we definitely want to go the Patreon route. If we're going to take some monthly monetary thing from people to support the game, then Patreon will be the way to go.
Yeah.
$2 per sub, but then taxes. Right. Keep it for their Patreon. We shouldn't know about yet until tomorrow.
No, you can know about it. We intentionally announced it. It's just we debated whether to publish it tonight, but Drast needs to go make it prettier. So
yeah, I need to add graphics. So tomorrow I'll work on that, adding graphics to it.
But all of you listening now, if you go check it out, even if you don't want to subscribe, we will take feedback. So if there's something that you like, oh, I hope they have this as a reward, and it's not on there, talk to us. We're open to talking about what would be,
right.
What would cause you to want to get XYZ tier. If you don't want to do it at all, fine. But if you're like, oh, if you just had this, I'd sign up for that tier. Let us know. Our goal is to let you feel like you're getting some value out of what you're spending, but also not bog ourselves down with a lot of stuff, right? Because the more you get, there's a balance of that. And again, full transparency, right? When you look at people's Patreons, the way, especially if you're looking at getting more and more patrons over time, you have to have something that you can manage with that time, right? The money versus the time scenario.
Yeah.
So we're going to do the best that we can to do things where you feel like you're getting value. Of course, some people want to be in the game, and that's something we can easily offer at the higher tiers. If you want your own pet, that's also on a higher tier. It's a really high tier, so I'm not really expecting a lot of people to subscribe at that level, but if you do, you'll get that reward. You'll get to be part of the game and the experience.
Right. As an NPC.
Real life ugly Facington. Well, what we'll have in there are merch bundles, which will be based upon a quarterly basis. So we'll go in. Streamlabs has a way to do a bundle. I don't think they do plushies in Streamlabs, so we wouldn't be able to do ugly Facington in that regard. But I think Cheeky, were you the one that sent the? There's like that service where you can essentially campaign. You get a bunch of people to sign up, and as long as it reaches a certain number, they'll make the plushie. So we're considering doing that for sure.
Yeah, that would be awesome. I would love an ugly Facington plushie. I would hug that thing every night.
My kids love plushies. So we will. There's lots of things we want to do. As a 2-person team, we have to do a lot of balancing, and every time we spend time doing things that aren't development related, we take or we do non-development tasks. We take time away from fixing or moving things forward with the game. We're not adverse to doing that, but it's just sort of a balancing act, right? Even if both of us were full-time on this game, there's so much work to do on the game that we would try to still minimize the amount of things we spend that aren't development related. Do we already have a Patreon link, or is it waiting? It's still waiting to go live. I think can we share it? Is this something we can share?
I don't think. Yeah, it won't show anything if we share it now.
Yeah. So we'll send it out on Twitter
And Discord.
And Discord tomorrow. You'll see it both places. You can look at our link tree. Do I have I think I have a socials thing here. So you can take a look at that, see how to follow us. We'll share that information with everybody.
Not always on the burb. It's okay. I don't think anybody should spend too much time on the bird. The bird, the Twitter. This one's title is How to Train Your Rotorolly. Oh, is that a spoiler? Not really. We have another. Well, fine.
No.
Yeah, no.
Totally not. We can someone who gets really obsessed with knowing what's next is Shorty. So I'm gonna say, don't ask us about the Rotorolly, Shorty.
Don't ask about the Rolo-Roti.
We don't talk about Rotorolly. No,
exactly. That link for me goes directly to Discord, not Linktree. Uh-oh.
What?
Maybe you have the wrong link.
I'm sure I do, so I'll just put the Linktree one. Here we go.
There's the Linktree one. There it is. Me? Secrets? I keep secrets. Keep it secret. Keep it safe. As the wise Gandalf would say.
We ain't telling. The wise Monty thing.
We ain't telling you. Exactly.
Yeah, like
it's not going to be a secret forever, anyways. Once we do certain things around certain things, that it won't be secret. It won't be secret anymore, right? So.
Don't give away our secrets once we do things around certain things.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I got my rewards for turning in the quest. I never did that. That's hilarious.
Well, fun fact: you shall not pass. If you guys, we won't spoil it, but if you play later in the game, there is that moment.
There is a moment like that.
We'll make that moment a little bit more momenty, but right now it was.
Yeah, that whole sequence will probably get an update.
Jazz tells me I have to do a lot of re-reviewing of things.
Yeah, because my writing is inconsistent with yours, right? So that's one of our things. We want to be consistent.
Yeah.
And so if you've noticed that, early in the game is not exactly consistent with later in the game, it's because I wrote it. It wasn't Motzi. I was laying the groundwork for Motzi, as it were.
Hey,
all right, I think I'm ready to go to the Endless Dunes. I've done everything I can do in Gilberry.
Well, while we have Mr. Wallaber here, I know this is a stream about Grad Games Alterium Shift. I want to say that one person has been really instrumental in our progress in this game is Wallaber. Wallaber makes many games. He's a career professional. He's made a game called Jelly Car Worlds, a little game called Jelly Car Worlds. Really amazing. Check it out on Steam. Jelly Car World. In fact, Wallaber, feel free to put the link in there. He deserves all the accolades. Early on, when I'm struggling with this engine, he's laughing at me for choosing to go with an engine instead of building things from scratch. He still helped me solve some fundamental problems within the system. He knows Unity inside and out, and he knows how to solve through the problems that I've been running into. And most recently, hey Cassie, Wallaber helped me actually finalize the CRT.
Wallaber.
What's that?
See, he posted a link to our game and said, "I think that's the link."
So funny.
Oh my gosh, this guy. This guy.
So Wallaber helped me look. I'm working with an engine that literally draws the graphics using the oldest style possible in Unity, using the GUI layer, which it just draws it straight on the screen. And that makes it hard to apply shader effects to. And because Wallaber is just freaking miracle with this stuff, he helped figure out how to get the SGB layer underneath the CRT effect. He is just hecking amazing. Check out his game. He's got many other games out there too. He's got Toyful games that he does, him and a partner with. He's got his own stuff he does under Wallaber. Jellycar Worlds, very, very Valet, and Pro Gymnast, to name a few. So, thank you, Wallaber, for being amazing. We're going to do a special credit for him in the game. And there will be a Wallaber NPC at some point. We were thinking of some kind of mad scientist that wants to make carts of jelly. The jelly cart.
Jelly carts. That's a good one. I like that.
Then we'll have jelly cart races.
And they just wobble.
Maybe what we need to do is get like Wallaber to help us with like a physics base.
So Wallaber, we're gonna do this thing about you in our game, but we're gonna need your help.
World. You're gonna have to help us build it.
You're gonna have to help us build it. Oh my god. I'm sure.
Maybe it won't be done yet. Maybe it'll be in the early phases of it, and then like in a sequel to the game, once it's a huge success, we'll have an actual like jelly cart race.
Yeah.
Just getting started, the young Wallaber.
Jan Wallaber. All right, I gotta get some stuff.
Soft body physics. It's not soft body physics, but there's a person who's been on my stream, who is doing a physics-based battle system, where you it's almost like pool cue type, where you shoot characters over places and then like they can have effects that affect within their area. It's pretty neat. Have this NPC have an ugly chicken plush with them. And speaking of, we mentioned the Patreon. While it is at the higher tiers, we will have the ability for your NPC that you get at the higher tier to have a pet. It is the highest tier, so I'm not expecting a lot of people to get that. But, and tying into our sales goals, longer term, especially if we get up there in sales, which has to be, it's like 20,000+ copies, we will have a pet mechanic. We might do a pet mechanic anyway, but getting our sales goals will make it much easier to commit to that than if we don't. Current sales goals, like I said, 5K is our target for the next 25 days, 20 days, I don't know. But, everything's gravy.
Gravy.
At the very beginning, first shift, there was an interesting dialogue with Sage. It's keeping me up at night now, but don't want to mention it here due to spoilers in case the story comes later, and my hunch is right. You can Discord it to me.
Yeah. Oh well, we have the spoiler chat on Discord, so if you want to discuss spoilers, feel free to post those in the spoiler chat.
Yeah.
Discord, and post the Discord link for people to join up.
Cassie, we will have a Patreon page starting tomorrow. We don't... How do I say this right? One of the challenges, especially being indie devs and just being humans that focus on doing work, it's hard to ask people for support. I know a lot of streamers have challenges with that. They're like, no, don't support me. I'm just doing this because... But we also are a bit pragmatic. Maybe it's our age and the fact that... we want to do this as our career, and we're hoping that people see that what we're doing is also part of our passion.
Yes.
I'm sure there's going to be things, well, there are already things that are frustrating to deal with in this line of work. One of which being we're working all the time and not spending time with their families. But we're hoping that we're going to be able to find the success we want. And anyone who wants to support us along the way, we want to add an avenue for that. We have certain people, and I won't name names, Killboy Gaming, that have demanded that we provide some venue for that. So we are going to put things out there like a Patreon.
Right.
We are still going to consider things like a Kickstarter. We're not sure how that works when you have a publisher, but contrary to popular belief, I actually don't know what popular belief is on this. Publishers aren't just going to like throw money at everything, right? Publishers have to make their money back somehow. So if they give a certain amount of money, at some point they got to start getting a return on that investment.
Yep.
I'm always happy to talk about these things without getting into specifics because, of course, our agreement with our publisher means we can't share details. But I can talk about the general mechanic of it. People think, I got a publisher, everything's great. Well, for a period of time, you get some level of support and funding and monetary benefit. But that doesn't last forever.
Right.
Which is why part of the reason why we did early access. Because we want to get more sales out there so we can continue to push things forward at the speed we want to. We're of course going to finish the game. Before we even got a publisher, we were doing this while both of us are working full time.
Yes.
Full time. It's just that continuing to get that support means we can continue to put as much effort, time into it that we want.
Right.
Thanks, Cassie, by the way, for the luck wishing.
Yes, thank you very much.
And thanks, spoiler chat. I'm not far in yet. Okay, you're not missing in spoiler chat. There's not a lot of chat about about. I was posting CRT pictures. So.
Something we want to emphasize too is that even though we're in early access, we still have a free demo for you guys to try out. So if you're curious about the game and you want to learn more about it, the demo is actually the first part of the early access experience. So you get to play the first act of each character. So even the demo has quite a lot of content of the game to experience without even purchasing early access. And if you like what you see, obviously we want to encourage you to purchase early access. If you've already purchased early access, thank you. That is awesome. But we also would love for you to leave a review of the game because that helps our visibility. That helps people when they see our game recommended to them that we have, the chops for a recommendation.
The chops.
Right.
Yes. It is. It's interesting. And I'm guilty of this too. So really, if people don't do it, I don't blame you. When someone asks me to go leave a review, I'm like, well, I want to put actual information.
Right.
Thankfully, most people who've asked me, I've also gotten like keys for the game, so there's less weight if you got a key to it.
Right.
But even going and putting a thumbs up with a little message is totally fine. It's the numbers that you look at, right? The more reviews you have that are positive, the better it looks. Whereas I was thinking, no, I got to go in and put like my stamp of approval. Apparently I had a misconception about that. We all learn, right? So now when I think about people's games, like, oh yeah, I'm going to wish it. Second someone posts a link on Steam, I'm going to wishlist it. Because wish listings are one of the number one ways to support a game with the lowest cost possible.
Right.
And then if you do end up buying the game, putting a review, especially if you liked it, is super helpful, even if it's just a thumbs up and a little message, or even no message.
Right.
So keep that in mind. If you guys wonder like what it's like to be an indie dev, it's like if you work at a company and you have a boss, the boss is going to tell you whether they like your performance or not.
Right.
When you work at it, when you do an indie game and you launch it, everyone's your boss. Every single person, even people that you haven't never met before, even people that don't buy the game, they're your boss. They come and tell you whether your performance is good or not. And whether you agree with it or not, you get that feedback. And how you deal with it actually affects your performance in your role, right?
Right.
I'm the big boss man now. You are, sort of. Let's see. Hold on. I gotta get cop on chat. Demo transfers the full game if you buy it. Yes, it does.
Yes. Yeah. That's another key part of it.
If it's not for playing Diablo at the moment, I would be playing this game. But I have Renown
to finish. Renown.
What's Renown? Is that part of the game? I haven't played Diablo, so I haven't had time for anything really. Big Boss Man. Wait, so all the little random game I put on my wish list helps them? Yes.
Yeah.
100%.
Absolutely.
100%. Every little bit helps people. Think about it this way. I'll talk about mechanics of doing indie dev game. This is our first experience doing this, but I like to learn all the little intricacies. When someone goes out to make an indie game, there are some components that are necessary to know whether they'll be successful. And if you're not thinking about this from the beginning, you should start. First off, you got to get that game in front of people. Screenshots, examples, ideas, sketches. Get that out on some social media to start getting feedback from day one, because that's literally what Drast did. You have to get things out there. It's hard because you're a developer and you're like, I don't have time for this. And I wouldn't do it if I didn't have Drast, but it is a necessary component. Step 2, you need to get on a store page. Itch is fine because Itch doesn't cost you anything. Steam is better. And once you get it out there, you got to get wishlists. And the reason for this isn't just because you want to show people about your game and kind of build the hype. The more wishlists you have, the more credibility you have when you talk to people like publishers, which makes it, you know, that, hey, you might be able to get things like funding and you'll be able to, you know, get more support. Also, the more wishlists you have, the more evidence you have that the game might sell well, because a lot of people who buy games are ones who wishlist it. Right. Not everybody, but when you launch the game, everyone on your wishlist gets notified. So there's all these economical components that I think most indie devs don't understand, which I'm now really getting to understand these days, because we launched a game and now we know what the impact is of that. And so you always have to be driving. You got to ask for people for wish lists. You got to post on social media. Preferably videos or streaming are good as long as they don't take a lot of your time away. I could go on for hours about this sort of thing. It's a lot. It's a lot of work. Let me see.
Hey, Philip collects. How's it going?
Hey,
Or Phil One Up collects. I
Phil One Up.
Yeah, I love that. Play on words.
Okay, let me see here. Wait, sell
Oh,
around.
shoot.
Okay. It's grinding to finish all that before the new season this week for most. New season of Diablo. Diablo have seasons?
Yeah, they do.
I'm getting too old to grind. Yeah, me too. We don't really like grinding. And not even like the clubby grinding, because that doesn't, you know, we're too old for that now. But we want the flow. We want to be able to move through things. Doing all right. How are you tonight? The game is looking great. Thank you, Phil One Up. We're doing great. We are showing some newer parts of the game that we haven't shown yet. Actually, Drast, you're already at. Did you already go through the temple?
No.
Where are you? What is this?
This is
this is the Oasis.
Yes, the Oasis.
I was like, what? I'd never seen that map before. So we're doing good. We're talking a little bit about things like our sales goals, and even what it's like to be an indie dev.
Yep.
It's a lot of work. That's why I am slumming in the world tier 1. Oh, you're talking about Diablo still. Got it. Join us on Discord. We did mention we have a demo for Alterium Shift, which is on Steam. I think I have the command for that.
Oh, I think well, you already talked about wish lists, but this wish lists actually still apply to us as well. When you're in early access, you're kind of in an in-between state. So like, we haven't fully launched our game, right? So when we do fully launch our game, wish lists still matter on the full launch, because the algorithm treats games with more wish lists more friendly, right?
Yes.
Recommends it to the people.
And to be clear, wish lists always matter, even
Yes.
if the game is fully launched. Because
Correct.
you can go wish list a game that's fully launched.
That's true. That is true.
CRT does work, by the way, on the build now.
Good.
That was my problem.
Cool.
So wish lists always matter. And if you are wish listing a game that is already launched, then you'll get notified when there's sales. There's a whole aspect to just marketing that is unrelated to the quality of the game that, wiser people than me know how to do better than I do. But I'm understanding the mechanics because I work at marketing on my day job. So, I run a marketing. I don't really like doing paid media marketing, but I run a team that does it. There's a lot of components that go beyond just, here's a game you want to buy, right? Because the first step to selling anything in the world is getting it in front of people. And if you don't understand that step, you're missing out on a prime component.
Yeah, absolutely.
If people don't know anything about your game, it doesn't matter how good it is. They're not going to buy it. you know, you can't get in front of people, you can't sell it, basically.
Yep.
It's amazing some of the best games are indies. Well, thanks. I hope people like this game. We've gotten some varied feedback, and we know that it's early access, and we know there's bugs. We know that it's not perfect. But we hope that when we get to the polishing of it and the end result, that people will truly enjoy it. That's our goal, right?
Right.
We're not doing it from like neither of us had a vision of what the game was
Right.
when we started. We didn't have like a lifetime of creating a game about this lore and, you know, this world that we think everyone should explore. We've built this game organically from literally the concept that you're visually seeing, from the idea that it's a 3D world that you can kind of twist around.
Right.
Everything has built around that. It's pretty amazing where we've come.
Yep.
Should we name the bird you ride? Big Bird. Be cool to summon him. We have talked about summoning in battle. You just squished a bug right now.
I was fighting
battle
bugs.
Bug. Yes. Well, we've had other bugs. Right now, the bird does not join you. It's called a shobi. It does have a name. I'll spell it for you. I guess you could name your bird like. Maybe we should do like a naming mechanic where you can give the bird a name. But I don't want to do a typing thing. I guess is the problem. Doing input in games is problematic because of the different devices. Like Steam Deck will have some problems, as Wallaber will tell me. So we try to avoid that. But I guess we could do like the classic style input with the little like letters.
Yep.
Maybe we'll do that. We'll think about that part. It'd be kind of fun to name your shobi. But anyway.
Yep.
But
do we have a list of things that we are planning to add to the game?
Well, that's a good question. Yes, we do.
Yeah, like a roadmap or something.
I mean, you mean like an official roadmap?
No. Just like kind of an off-the-cuff roadmap here on stream that we can kind of go
let's
over.
Let's talk about Code Baby. Actually, let's talk about roadmap. That's quite the same. We have a roadmap that takes us through to the full completion of the game. Now, we launched early access. We have new things on our roadmap that maybe wasn't originally planned, but we know will make the game better. So let's talk a little bit about some of the things that we have planned in the next month or so. We will try to get something that is closer to a roadmap that we're going to track-ish. I wouldn't call it something that you would count on timing-wise, because lots of things come up, variables. We have, you know, packs coming up and other events. So there's things we're going to be working around as well. But for the next 15 days, the rest of July, outside of doing all the bug fixes, we have some new things that came up, like fixing how autosaves work. That's something we'd like to get in before the end of July in a way that you can actually use your UI to control that. Reworking some tutorials to make sure the game is more clear. Really basic stuff in that regard. Some of the other things on our list, that we're going to work on some initial ideas for battle improvements. Probably something that's now going to be more into August. But a bestiary, I'm not sure how you say it, but it's spelt like bestiary. So when you fight a monster, after that battle, you will get things like their health information. And if you use something on there, like a skill, maybe you'll get something about how that skill affects them. So encouraging you to use your skills and other things in battle to understand the monsters more, so you get that information during battle.
Stoff just rated us.
Oh, yay! Stoff. He was just playing. He was playing the game. Should I ask you how it went, Stoff? Because I was watching you. You had lots of good feedback. Hopefully it was okay where you got to. Mega bonding with the bird.
Welcome all the Stoff peeps.
Phil, one up. If you haven't been on our Discord, you should stop by, Phil, because that's the best place to give us feedback. We actually have a forum for taking that feedback. Went good, but didn't finish it all. Gonna stream more later. Just got here. Actually, welcome. Glad to have you here. Stop. I know we just saw that you rated. Thankfully, Drash was paying attention. Immediately when Stoff started playing, he's like, well, here's this thing here. There's this graphical thing here. And then, with battles, have you considered this? Really good feedback. It's not criticism. I think it was great. I look forward to watching the VOD and seeing what you had to say. We were just talking about some of those things. Bestiary is on our list. Outside of all the bug fixes, we do want to do a configurable control system. I don't think that's happening this month because we have so many other things to fix, but it is coming down the road. We want to have something that will show you the input prompt of the controller you're using. If you're using PlayStation or Xbox controller or other things, it'll show you a little graphic for that thing for times in which we prompt the user. I'm in there. I'll have to pop in more. I'm a little slow with Discord. Oh, okay. No worries, Phil. You can always do the Steam boards, or I guess email us if you want to. Also on our list, we are going to be working on some of the next phases of the game, so storyline. We actually had a lot of that targeted for July, but with all the bugs, we're kind of supplanting that with the bug fixing. We have some adjustments to do the Act 1 story. Pyra especially has been the one storyline we've gotten the most feedback on that I would say is negative. Not everyone loves the experience of Pyra, so we're going to try and make it a little bit less frustrating. So that's coming down the pipeline. What else we got here? Input delay. Oh, we got mostly bugs. The rest of it is like bugs in here. Was there anything that you're thinking I forgot of? Some shop UI enhancements.
Right. Just general battle enhancements. We'll eventually touch on balance as well, because balance is something right now that is a little out of whack. I mean, if you've played through the early access content, it's pretty easy to get overpowered. So like in the area that I am now, it's way too easy for people who have all the equipment and whatnot. We don't have a way to dynamically level monsters, and I'm not sure if that's the direction we want to go. I think we just need to beef them up a little bit more. We also need to add more items to the game, obviously. So there's more items that we need to add as far as like equipment and goodies that you get along the way, whatnot. No, don't dynamic them. Yeah, so that's, some people like that and some people don't like that. I personally don't like dynamic battles because it kind of takes away from the effect of you actually leveling up and feeling strong in the game. It's just I find it a little too easy right now to get to a point where you're just OP. So there's not enough curve in the portions that are after Anonymous Forest.
You mean like making creatures harder, right?
Yes, basically, yes. Balance. We need to balance the game more, obviously.
We need to balance the game more. I think if we get to, and by the way, hello to Marwa Bitty. I can't say it. Mar, we only speak English here, so I see that you just said hello, which is fine. But just if you can translate it to English, it's just because we can't read it and we'd have to go back and translate it. I'd rather the enemies just be stronger, and if we want to over level for that fun. Yeah, I don't particularly like dynamic battles.
Right.
And before we do something like that, first we'll see if we can get a good balance. I wouldn't mind a little bit of dynamic. Like one thing you guys don't know is when they're talked about is if you get too leveled for the boss battles in the beginning, those bosses level up. So it's slightly up, but it's not like they are exactly matched. It's like they go slightly up, so it's not quite like a super easy battle. So we'll figure that one out. And by the way, Phil, just so you know, our email inboxes are inundated. We're getting people requesting keys, and we're getting vendors requesting things all the time. So if you did email us and we didn't respond, that's part of the problem. It's really hard for us to keep up. If you want to get more direct access to us, come message us on Discord.
Yeah. I was talking to Phil on Twitter. Phil was actually part of a stream with somebody who I was watching, and he's a cool guy. He wants to do a little interview with us, which would be
okay.
awesome.
Then it's probably just okay. Then I apologize that we didn't get back to you.
Right.
Usually our publisher does it, but it's over the weekend right now, and they're also at Bit Summit.
Yes.
So he's just a little behind.
Yes,
it's not that we
stream.
don't want to talk to you. It's that we are. I mean, seriously, there's a lot of emails in there. We just can't keep up with it right now. Well, I was going to say on our roadmap is also cloud saves in Steam.
Yes, cloud saves.
I actually have it mostly working, but then I realized that if we enable this, it might delete people's saves if you're playing on more than one device. So I'm going to have to figure out a way to allow for enabling it and backing up your existing saves in case there's a problem.
Yep.
We need FAQ. Yeah, well, Shorty, you are a mod on our team. Maybe we can talk about that. Have your people call my people. Maybe we'll make an FAQ channel.
It's a good idea.
That's probably, yeah, because we're getting enough of the same questions.
You are my peoples.
I mean,
Good
have your
point.
kids call us because I hear they're pretty, pretty engaging to talk to. I don't know. Weird. Yeah, cloud saves are going to be something that we turn on and off. Another thing that I haven't talked about, I think I even need to add a ticket for myself. For features that are still being developed, we're probably going to add like a beta setting.
Mm-hmm.
So some of them will be turned on and offable. That's not really a good term, but the menu that you see in game, you're asking you pull that up. That menu is the Smile Game Builder default menu. That's not our new menu. However, right before launching, I was trying to get the new menu working and there were too many bugs. And as you could tell, there were too many bugs after launch anyway, so we disabled it. So that's actually on a Switch. And we're going to do things like that where we have features that are enableable on a Switch. So if you want to turn it on and take the risk of using something buggy, you have the option to do that. And this is something I learned in my normal web development life of managing software releases. So it's just really helpful to put things on a Switch so you don't break everything or you can kind of revert it. So more to come on that probably sometime in the next month or so.
Which it'll also, it'll include all of our enhancements from the title screen too, right? Did you mention that? I probably just didn't listen to you.
Title screen stuff?
Yeah, like the config menu and stuff. It'll have all the because right now the current config menu is like limited to this stuff.
Oh yeah.
But the title screen config menu has all our planned configurations for even just the in-game configuration menu. So
technically, that part of the menu mostly works on the new one, but it's the other ones,
the other
like
stuff,
equipment and stuff. There's some bugs there, so what I'll probably end up doing is putting that on a Switch so people can turn it on if they want, and then if they have bugs, I'm going to say, well, you can't complain, turn it on. No, I'll working on fixing them. Right, everyone's been really supportive, giving us bugs, and we're kind of we have these phases where we can get through a bunch at once, and then we get hung up on a few. So we're just trying our best to keep up with them. One other thing that we have is really small. I am going to be working on a dialogue skip option, which would either be a way to really quickly hammer through dialogue if you can read fast, or literally skip until you have an option to say something. Right. While you're going to lose content that way, not everybody wants to read all the words. So you're going to have to make choices, but outside of choices, there'll be a way that you can kind of skip through most of the dialogue if you really want.
Yep. Message us on Discord. That's totally fine if you want to message us on Discord. I'm sorry that we haven't gotten back to you yet. A lot of stuff going on right now, so... and we're totally open to more interviews, absolutely, because, it's fun. We like talking about the game. We like people who are interested in the game, interested in talking to us about the game, in fact. So.
Absolutely.
All right. I got a fishing quest. I have to catch a special fish. Oh, yeah. I like this. This is a little flavor dialogue here. Atlas is just standing in the sun and complaining, it's so hot. And you could just say, you could just sit under the shade. And he's like, I think I will. And he just goes over there and sits down.
Incidentally, I didn't even ask this. How is the CRT effect coming through for everybody?
Yeah, I don't know if it's.
It looks a little iffy, but that's also because he's doing it from his
Yeah, I'm sure.
environment. I'm curious if it's coming through okay. It looks way better on your screen.
480p. At 40p, you can't tell it's in a CRT at all, right? It's just blurry. Oh my gosh, that was so fast. That's the one I needed to catch.
Oh, good job.
Well,
But someone was complaining they couldn't catch it, remember?
Yeah. Well, it's because they were probably using the worm and not the maggot. The maggot is what you use to catch it.
Maggot.
But I don't give any hints, so you got to try your baits.
I'll say this game is making me want to dust off my Game Boy Advance.
There you go. Well, yeah, so a lot of people like to compare our game to Golden Sun, which again is kind of like a indirect inspiration, just because, you know, Golden Sun was kind of a product of its time, and it was also inspired. I mean, obviously inspired by games before it. So, yes. Whereas we're more inspired by the SNES era and PS1 for me personally and beyond. Gonna grab some dinner, but we'll be back if you're still on. All right, enjoy your food.
You're a beautiful human.
Thank you, Stoff.
I'm working on water stuff. Water stuff. Enjoy what you guys have made so far. Well, thank you, Stoff. And thanks for your feedback. It's been amazing. Go get some food.
Fish.
We like feedback. I will say that even when people are the most negative, it's still good to hear. That we process it, right? There's sometimes people give feedback and it rubs me the wrong way, but I don't want to like yell at them for it. It's right. We still process in the back of our minds. Half the time nowadays we've heard all of it, right? There's very little bit of feedback now that we haven't already heard, because we've heard a lot of people telling us what we think about the game. But I don't know how you get better at doing things if people don't tell you.
Right, absolutely.
So, like, how do you gauge whether the game is getting better if people aren't telling you what doesn't make sense and what could be better? I don't understand that. And I know that some developers, they have their vision. They want to do what they envision. We have a vision, but feedback flows into our vision and through that lens to help us decide what we're going to do next.
Right.
I heard some interesting feedback recently that like the visuals of our game they don't meet some sort of criteria of what a retro JRPG or whatever should look like, which is weird to me because we're using modern technology. Yeah, that's the whole point. We're using 2D with 3D with map 2D over it. We are trying to lean into the new technology. We're not trying to make it look exactly like a retro style game. There's plenty of games that do that already. We're trying to be a little bit different. Anyway, total tangent. And Rinsing went out and bought a box copies of those games. It's like Secret of Mana, Chrono Trigger, and Golden Sun. Yeah, looks good for me. Who you made it? Looks good to me for who you made it.
For how we made it, maybe.
For how we made it?
Yeah.
Maybe? Yeah. We think so. I mean, like, well, that's the whole point. You see a snapshot of the game, and it almost looks like these classic games. But then you see video of it, you're like, wait a minute. It's like there's something about it that is different.
Right. If you stand still in the game, a lot of the time, if we take a screenshot of the game standing still and we share it online, not everybody will say, oh, that looks 3D right away. But when they see it in motion in a video, they're like, well, at first I thought it was 2D, but I can definitely tell it's 3D now. So that's kind of what we went for. A lot of people are like, some people can tell it's 3D right away, which is good. You have a good eye, definitely, which is totally fine. But we run into that, I would say at least half the time, where people are like, oh, I thought that was 2D at first, but it's actually 3D. Or how did you do those parallax effects? Well, they're not parallax effects.
It's literally 3D.
It's a 3D world. So
Phil says, that makes no sense. This looks like a modern take on those games. I mean, you don't want it so jaggy and pixelated you can't see how beautiful the art and colors are. You want it to be the best of both worlds. Yeah, that's what our thinking is. Like, there are retro inspired RPGs or like Chrono Trigger inspired games out there that are beautiful games, and most of them are 2D, but they use effects that like lighting effect. They're just beautiful games, high resolution pixel art that in the same vein harkens back to these classics.
Yes.
These mechanics that are beautiful and amazing. The games look freaking awesome. There's nothing wrong with that either, because that's a whole different way of taking the take.
Yep.
Our take is to try to replicate the retro feel more directly. How would I say this? It's different than like trying to say I like these games, but I'm going to make a high quality version. It's more like I like the games, and I want something that almost feels like it did when you played the game.
Right.
Like, but now with more. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think both style of games can achieve that feeling. We just take a different stylistic approach, right? So.
Yeah. Right, because I by no means I'm saying like, oh, our way is better. It's not what I'm saying.
Right.
That's of course, like everyone has their own style that they're going to implement.
Yeah.
It's just that our particular approach is, I feel like it's pretty unique, because we're doing the 3D, but we're not allowing camera movement, so we're fixing the perspective.
Right.
You can do a lot of things. If we allowed the camera movement, you lose that magic really fast.
Right.
That's why we only do it in certain.
I think it's okay if some people do mention that we should have the camera out a little bit more. I think that's fine if we have an option for that later, because I understand wanting to see a little bit further out is totally understandable. So we might implement that. We do realize the camera is super close. That's part of the design was intentional, but we're also listening to feedback on that as well. So we might have options where your right stick could zoom the camera out just a little bit or something.
Yeah, and practically speaking, like I don't have any problem with it. I actually think it'd be interesting to have a little like nudge camera control. Right. So I want to just see that way, or I want to zoom out just a little bit.
Right.
That it would be okay.
Right.
That's why we have a camera. It doesn't really affect that feeling too much.
Right.
So
yeah, and we zoom out the camera for like when you're riding the Shobi, because it's a big sprite. It takes up a lot of space on the screen, so obviously we want it to zoom out so you can see a little bit more of the world. Plus, it kind of adds to the feel that you're riding on something, right? So it zoomed out a little bit there.
It says, and Phil says, exactly, I see this game as paying respect to the classics that we all love.
Well, thank you.
That's our hope, and thank you for that. Yeah. The most thing I find interesting about our experience here is we didn't, like I said in the beginning, we didn't plan on exactly every little aspect of the game. We're organically developing it. Honestly, the only way I know how to do things anyway, because I work in agile development. I've been doing that my whole career. But because of that, it affords us a lot of opportunity to tweak it down to even refine that even more.
Right.
I feel like if we'd set out with an exact vision and this is the game we're going to make, I think we would have had some rigidity that would have made it much harder to get some of the things we have into the game. I don't think we would have done on-map shooting or whatever, on-map abilities. I think that wouldn't have even been a thing. I think maybe choice dialogue may not have happened because we originally the characters talk to each other without input. But the more we do things, we're like, oh, that's working, that's not. Let's tweak it, which is way more fun, by the way. More work, but more fun.
I can't move past this. You want to fix that real quick?
You can just teleport yourself across.
Yeah. No, I mean like on your side though.
How am I going to fix it while you're playing the game?
No, it's fine. No, it's fine. I'm saying, never mind.
Oh, I know what you're saying. Okay. I don't know why that happened.
No, it's not like you were working on the buried temple today at all. This is not.
Well,
this shouldn't happen in the build right now. These changes are in flight.
Yeah, this is he's playing the literal development build right now.
Mm-hmm.
I guess I need to go fix.
He fixed the water here where it doesn't just fill up when you walk in, but I guess for whatever reason, the passability over this.
I know why. I know how I broke it.
Oh, okay, cool. You done broke it. It wasn't me.
And you don't have to teleport map. You can just do move to location. You can move to
where's that? Is that in the
like,
debugger too?
Yeah, it's right underneath where you teleport.
Oh, move to coordinates. Oh, okay.
You can move to like 40 and 40 maybe. Try that.
40 and 40? Okay, yeah. It's the same. 40, 40. Hey, there we go. That works. They were in the water. It's hilarious. All right, here we go. Going down. Down into... Whee!
You guys are really talented. I wish I had the talent or understood game design. I'm so clueless about that. I have some awesome game ideas I would love to bring to life, but I don't have the skills. So it's awesome. You're making your dream game come true. Well, thank you, Phil. I would say that when we started, we had certain level of skills, but we have gotten better.
Yeah.
I mean, I've had a career in development, but web development is way different than game development. It's way different. So this has been a learning experience for me too. And I haven't learned on, in a vacuum. Like I've mentioned, Wallaber had been a big help. He's really helped us along the way with getting over some big humps. Did you get the black screen thing on this one? Yes.
Hold
all
on,
black
see.
when you first walked in.
No, it wasn't like that.
How did it fix?
I don't.
It just fixed itself?
I have no idea.
Hey, I'm down with that. Write it all down, then find someone to help. Yeah. I mean, what's interesting about game ideas, and I remember when I talked about this. I think a lot of people with game ideas like, I can't share that. Someone's going to steal it. It's like, no one's going to steal your game idea. What do you mean?
Right. Everybody
has game ideas. Not what I'm saying is, Phil, not that that's not important, but what I laugh about is when I first thought about game dev, I didn't tell anybody. I was like, I'm not going to tell you my idea because it's so great. And the more that I got experience in doing this, people stream their game development and no one steals those ideas, right? Wallaber is writing code and I write code on stream. No one's going to steal your game idea. But doing the next step is the hard part, right? You have the game idea. How do you make it? Drast had to have me do a lot of the underlying. But, Phil, one thing to consider is there are tools out there that don't require development that you could use to also make games without knowing how to do code, right?
Right.
There's Game Maker. There's Smile Game Builder. I mean, depending on whether you want to do a role-playing game. There's RPG Maker. So there's a lot of options out there that you can do things simply. There's RPG in a Box, which I really like as a, you can do all the things you need, but you don't have to know how to do the code too in depth. There's actually like a visual coder and a lot of tutorials, a really good community. So there's a lot of options. It just takes time, just like a role-playing game, it just takes time. Just invest time and eventually you just get better at it.
Right.
I mean, you could do that. You have to make sure that you're trustworthy. You don't want someone stealing your idea. Well, that's what I was saying, Phil. Like, I don't think anyone is going to do that. I tried RPG Maker, but I am dumb. It's too confusing. Yeah, I didn't like RPG Maker, and I know technology. So,
yeah,
it wasn't my favorite.
Well, and one of those things is, with when I first started making games with like RPG Maker VX Ace, my games were not good. I wasn't making my own graphics. I wasn't spending a lot of time on much of anything. I was just throwing things together and just putting it out there. The more and more that I got feedback, the more and more I would go back and iterate things. And then eventually I got to the point where I was confident in my skills that I could make my own assets. I could make my own characters. I could make my own this and that and this and that. And then I put that stuff out there. And then I got more feedback. And I made more iterations, and it was just a constant cycle. A lot of the stuff that I did early on never spanned out to be full games or experiences people could, fully enjoy. But at the same time, the feedback was good. It helped me grow. It helped me learn. It helped me get better at game design. And I got better at mapping. I got better at certain things. You know, not everybody's, you know, gonna be the best in the design area, but if you're like a good writer, or you're a good, you know, you focus on your skills. You focus on harnessing the skills. Learn enough of the other stuff to get by, but you know, there's plenty of ways to go about it. So
yeah. And Phil, you're usually saying your idea is pretty ambitious. It might take a lot of money. And that's another reason why, like, if you were going to pursue that, first I'd probably say don't start there, right? Start with something small.
Right.
But it's very unlikely if something's going to cost a lot of money to make that someone's going to say, I like that idea, I'm going to make it, right? And really, if you think about it, let's throw out the notion that someone would really want to take it. It's more that everyone has the idea they want to make, right? Like their idea is going to be the thing that they want to do. And that, I think, of all things, is why when you share an idea that you have a vision for, the only person that's going to be able to make that vision is you. No one is going to make your vision of your game.
Right.
You could tell somebody to like the exact detail of what you're thinking, and someone would be like, "Oh yeah, that's cool," but then they're going to make something completely different.
Yes.
So you gotta have that shared vision. Like Drast and I have a shared vision based on the visual style of the game and the source material. So we build it up over time that way. What are you laughing about? This is not work. Oh, what'd you do?
I didn't do anything. I just walked out here and it was freaking out. The
only place in the game that uses physics right now. I should have made them jelly planks.
Jelly planks.
It's funny when you run. Oh, because you have a. I think it's because your character has a collider on them.
Oh, that's possible.
Your collider's like messing.
Like messing with it. Yeah. You can make it ignore the player collider.
Maybe. Yeah. I don't know. I'll look at it. Non-impactful.
Did you wired these up? The little water indicators?
Yep.
They're not changing though, so I don't know what's going on with that. Unless you haven't pushed that change yet.
Which one is this? This is
the B1 south. Or B2 south. Sorry, B2 south.
I wired it, but I didn't test it. So.
Oh, okay. So it's probably just something weird. Or it could could be my graphics. I mean, I didn't test my graphics.
Nope. It's not there. I thought I put it in there.
Oh.
Weird. I must have missed that.
How?
B2. Wait, B2 south. Hold on, let me look at it. B2 south.
Right.
I was on the wrong map. No, it's there. Why is it not working?
I don't know.
Missions. I don't know. It's supposed to work.
I mean, again, it could be my graphic. I don't know if I didn't test it in.
No, the graphic works. Let me see if maybe I didn't change the graphic of it. Keep open. That's what it is. I don't know. It was working for me when I was doing it earlier, so I don't know what's going on. Take a look at it.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I think I know what happened. I know what it is. Hold on.
You do?
Yes, because everything's named the same. No, B2 inlet switch south inlet. Oh, okay. Yeah. B2 inlet switch south inlet. I don't know. I don't know. That makes sense. Well, now I need to find talented people who would like to share my game vision. I'm a pretty good writer and not too shabby. Yeah, I mean, you know, if you think about the way Drast Night started, we also didn't start with a game that we had some like ultimate vision for. Right. We did a game jam, and game jams are a great way if you want to partner up with people. Like, look, I want to make a game, but I can't do all this other stuff. Find a game jam that has like a team component to it, and then find people from a Discord server that would want to join you with that. That's always a good way to do it too. I've never done. I mean, I haven't done a lot of game jams because I would prefer to work on like stuff that goes beyond a week worth of development or something. But there are a lot of people out there that like to do game jams. Right. A game jam is a event that can sometimes be competition with rewards or sometimes for fun. If you look up, like, if you go to itch.io and you look up game jams, there's all sorts of things on the schedule. Usually there's a theme, and the themes vary. Mm-hmm. And what you do is you get like a time frame to make a game and then deliver it.
Yep.
If you enter a game jam and you don't finish your game, there's no harm, no foul. You know, most games don't require you to pay money to enter unless they're like really big events, which you probably wouldn't do. A lot of them, they're just for fun. just to give yourself a challenge. Some of them are very short, like 72 hours, 24 hours. Some of them are, you know, a couple weeks to a month long. So there's plenty of game jams you can look up. Just Google it, and you can find, I mean, there's tons of them. And itch.io, there's just like a whole calendar of game jams. And that's actually how Drast and I started working together in the first place. We started doing a game jam together.
I mean, we met through mutual interests, but at the same time, you know, we're like, oh, someone we know is doing a game jam. Let's enter that game jam and just try making something together.
Yes. Drast is like, we should make a game together sometime. I'm like, oh, I'm kind of busy. And finally, like, let's do it. I'm fixing that. That's one of the things I'm working on tonight.
Oh, okay. This is one
I know how to fix it now. Yeah, it's not a very hard fix, but I'm gonna go fix the entrance thing first because that's the bigger problem.
That's more important. Is there a way to get past it with that bug?
Nope.
There's not. Yes, there is. It worked.
What do you mean? Get past what? Sorry.
Oh, I can't get in there. Continue through the dungeon.
Yeah, you didn't do the puzzle properly.
Oh, I'm not good at the puzzle, I guess.
Well,
what am I supposed to do?
Flip the switch thing again.
This one?
That's hard because you're delayed.
And then what?
Now go to the right.
Okay.
You go up.
Oh, up. Okay.
I'm not watching your screen live, so it's
I know.
really hard for me. Okay. So the way this sequence works, Drast, is that you have to make your way over the top and back to the northwest section.
Okay.
You basically have to those top two sections have to be closed off. So don't do it from that side. You have to do it from. I can't watch you and tell you how to get through it. Let me just send you some pictures. We have a.
Okay, those two are cut off. So maybe this is it. Nope. That turned it off.
I'm glad that you don't know how to do this puzzle. Really?
Yeah, I haven't actually tried to. I just like messed around just enough to get through it.
You've never done the puzzle.
Right. Correct.
So you don't even know how to get through it.
Right. Correct.
Okay, here. I'll give you. We have a little walkthrough guide. I'll give it to you. Sending some love your way. Go look at that in a different browser tab. And then go down to the section that has the water temple pictures.
Okay. Hold on 1 second.
The section with the yellow lines is what you did initially. And then the second part after that is what you need to do next.
Maybe I shouldn't read this on stream.
Well, I mean, this is spoiler alert territory, but the problem is now you've made so much weird changes that I'm not sure if you've made it.
Made it where it's broken.
No, made it to make it work because you're all over the place.
Oh, that one. Okay.
See how that goes? I put little bullet points to say what you exactly have to do.
It's complicated, my friend.
Yeah.
That's a complicated puzzle.
Maybe we'll make it less complicated. I will say this: there are people who passed that puzzle without guidance. At least this puzzle isn't made harder by endless random battles. Yeah, we don't like we are not random battle type of people. And if you're going to be solving a puzzle, you need to solve the puzzle. I'd like to buy a vowel. You might have like completely messed yourself up, but I'm not totally sure.
I can get back. There we go. Oh, nope. Yep. I'm stuck.
You found the soft lock. Congratulations.
Yes. Yeah, I soft locked myself. But you know what? I can get past soft locks. Right?
Yeah, but you might want to just reload your save instead so that you can just start it from when you entered.
Okay. Just load my autosave.
Yes, sir.
Sure.
See if this works. Hopefully you didn't go in and out, right? No. Oh, you have to do the whole thing again. Beautiful. No. Where?
I think I went downstairs and came back up. Maybe.
I mean, YOLO. I don't know how to help you, my friend. We are gonna put a reset for this puzzle, but you're not gonna get there by doing that.
Well, one time I just like messed around long enough and it just somehow unlocked still.
Okay. So maybe you found a different way to do the same solution.
Yeah. Maybe I did.
Maybe you didn't.
Maybe I didn't. Maybe I did. Oh, I can't even get down there. It's such a... it's so... Yeah, it's a little convoluted.
Oh, thanks. Thanks for your feedback. I will make sure that I take note of that as I write myself to sleep tonight. I appreciate it.
You can do it, Motzi. Okay, so that's up.
Yeah. Yeah. So the one thing that you're missing, so go to the right.
Go to the right. Okay.
You notice my first drawing or my second drawing on the diagram. I had made it so you have to open that one thing. So you need to get, what you need to do is close off the gate that is to the right of the north planks, like right below where the what are they, rats are?
Okay. So both of
Because
those
you have
need
to
be cut off.
Yeah, that whole area needs to be empty of water because that last bit of
I shouldn't be able to walk over that, but that's okay.
It's fine.
Okay, so these two need to be cut down?
Yes, but unfortunately, no, stop! Don't do that. You're gonna
Okay.
get yourself stuck.
No, I can fix it. Okay.
This is fun.
Yeah.
We're probably getting close to being done. Okay. Dras, I need some way to see your screen without.
Oh.
being on
Here, I
delay,
can
'cause
I can
can't-
share it to you.
on
Check
Discord?
this out. Yeah, on Discord.
That works.
Share screen.
Share and share alike. I'll get you through this. Can you imagine? Like some people solve this legitimately.
I know, that's crazy.
Go back up to where you were by the rats.
Okay, up here. Like, but work my way back around?
I mean, there's no way you can do anything effective if you don't, right? So,
Okay.
Meow.
Meow.
To the right, open that switch to your right.
Okay.
Okay. Meow, go back over to the right.
Over to the right. This way.
Other right. Keep going. Okay. Make sure that this switch right here is that open? That switch is open, right?
Yeah.
Meow, go to the left. I'm sorry, go back up to where the rats are.
Okay.
Then what do you have to do? You go up there. Yeah. Okay. So the one on the how did you manage to lock yourself out from the one on the left? Close that. No, you need to go back over to the left.
Close this one.
Close that one. Sorry. Now go over to the left. Close that one.
Okay.
Now go to the right. And close the middle.
Oh.
So open this one and then close the middle one.
Okay. So this one right in the middle. Right?
Yeah. Close that one.
Oh.
Uh-oh. You did...
Cool.
You have to have one of these things closed or open. If you close this, what happens?
This one?
Yeah. This is fun, isn't it?
Okay.
There's something going on with the water.
This one doesn't do anything. Oh, there it goes. It was like it wasn't.
Try closing it.
Yeah. I think this one's broken.
Oh, that's the problem. That thing was open, right? Instead of closed? Okay, so I think that might work.
Yeah, I think that. Ugh, no.
Okay. Well, you know what? This might be a good
Yeah,
place
that's a
to stop.
good stopping
Um,
point.
Failure is a great place to stop.
Well, I mean, that's
You
on
know,
me because I don't know how to do this puzzle
well, it's on me
correctly.
'cause I made the puzzle
Yeah. Well,
hard.
there's a couple things we need to do to fix this puzzle, and people have figured it out, but yeah, it's not functional to the point where it needs to be, right? So,
The two things that I think will help this puzzle. Well, there's three things. First, I think we need a little bit more clever arrangement of these pillars because they block things.
mhm,
Second, I think we need to have a camera angle that zooms out more to
mhm,
see more of the puzzle.
right.
And then we just need a reset.
Yeah,
We also need to make sure that you can't soft lock yourself. 'Cause
correct.
that's
Yeah, that
big-
would be bad. Soft lock is bad.
correct.
Good thing
Um,
you all are the game designers and not players, right? Right.
Yeah,
Well, the
yeah.
version that's out there,
Yeah.
plenty of people have gotten past this point. So it's just there is a way to soft lock yourself, which we definitely need to fix.
Correct. Correct. Especially because you managed to do it accidentally. So it means
Yeah.
it's really something people are going to do.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. I don't know how I made it before, to be honest, because I never looked at your guide how to do it. I just did it.
I really thought you knew because, you
Mm-mm.
know, how embarrassing.
Well,
Dress.
the puzzle. To be honest, I'm not good at puzzles in video games. I like even looking at a guide, I have to like read it very slowly, because, and that's the thing. I have to take my time. I'm not a puzzle guy. I'm just like a run and gun guy.
You know, our game is all about representation, and we need to represent people that can't solve puzzles. So
That's why we need a reset button. I smashed my face into keyboard, and and things happen, and that's how you've done the temple 4 times.
Dras will need to get me a reset lever or something.
Oh, sure, like the golden lever.
Yeah, we'll have to have something that's like, I wonder what this does, or like, you know,
Well, we'll probably have to warn people that this.
yeah, I'll be like, this looks like it might reset everything.
Yeah,
that will
something like
put like
that.
a commentary because
Yeah.
you have to do that.
Yeah, people might not like just randomly resetting their puzzle.
All right, let's talking head it. Let's wrap this up.
Yeah,
friendo.
talking head time, chat mode.
Talking head.
So that was fun. Yeah,
That's fun.
a learning
Yeah,
experience for me.
Yes, and you know, we are so thankful for everybody's support and help. We will have more information tomorrow about things like the Patreon. We are still driving towards our goals. You know, first milestone hit 1K copies. We're just over that amount. If you're wondering how things work when you launch a game and you put it on sale immediately, day after the sale ends, the sales slow down. So we are a little slower than we want to be. Please tell your friends about the game. Try out the demo. Please try out the demo if you're not sure about early access. It is the same version. It's just a cutoff at a certain point. If you like the demo and you want to buy early access, please do so. Your save file will be saved. You will be able to access your same saves, and hopefully you'll like the game. And if you like it, leave a review. I think that's like the whole summary of everything we said tonight.
Yep.
Buy your friends' copies.
Oh, yeah, and wish list again. Yeah, so if you play the demo, you're not ready for early access. You want to wait a little bit longer till things are polished. Totally fine as well. Just, you know, if you have it in your hearts to wish list the game for the future, you like it that much, then
Yes,
we definitely appreciate that as well.
absolutely. All right.
Yeah.
Well, I think we're good. We'll you know, I'm not sure exactly yet if we're going to continue the cadence of twice a week. Maybe we'll just pick once a week and do you know, Dratsy stream. But we will be keeping everyone posted. Stop by our Discord, stop on the Steam board, stop on Twitter, stop Reddit, whatever you want. Reach out to us, tell us what you think. We're happy to chat more.